here to tell us how a big birthday led to a little dog and a new passion for life is our pet rescue expert Larissa and Angels in Training Senior Dog Sanctuary founder Gator McKinley and Faye Home and Patty May. It is a house full of love. Larissa, tell us why is this story so meaningful?
Well, I've known Gator for a little bit. I heard his story a little while ago, and then November is Adopt a Senior Pet Month, and so I thought, okay, Gator does only that, so we need to get him on to talk about it. And senior pets are often brought into the shelters by their owners that don't have the time for them anymore. Maybe there's medical issues that are going on, and you know, that's anywhere from like 6 years old is considered a senior to 10 plus. You know, it depends on the breed of the dog. But you know, Gator steps in and takes in these usually 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old dogs. He's rescued about 44 of them now, and he really is an angel. And so I wanted him to tell his story.
Oh, yeah. Well, Gator, just like Larissa said, Faye was not your first senior pet, but on your 50th birthday, she came along and she stole your heart. And like you say, she actually brought you back to life. What do you mean? What happened?
When I was about to turn 50, I just did not want to do it. I wanted to go back in time. I wanted to start reversing the birthdays. It was that big one that I just was not looking forward to. Made me nervous, made me depressed. I was getting sad, like, oh, I'm a musician. Nobody's going to want to see a 50-year-old musician on stage anymore. You know,
no.
I kept thinking all this kind of stuff. I was just getting more and more depressed, and I told my girlfriend, my family, my friends, everyone, I don't want to party because I know they were planning something because it was the big one. I said, don't do it. No presents, nothing. I don't want to do anything. I said, what I'm going to do for my birthday is go to local LA County shelters and visit dogs. I said, that's what I want to do for my birthday. So everyone listened to me. They backed off. They didn't do the party. They didn't do presents. Which I'm kind of bummed that they actually didn't.
You said you didn't want to party, but you really did. That's all right.
Well, you know.
There's always next year.
Exactly. So anyhow, I went to the Baldwin Park shelter where Faye was, and she was in the medical building, and where the public is not supposed to be allowed. But for some reason, the officer, there's a picture of her right there. The officer took a liking to me and took me back to where I wasn't supposed to be taken to. She let me see her, for one thing. As soon as I saw her, my heart just exploded for her. And she was just this scrawny-looking little thing. And I'm going to tell you about how I gave her her name, if you're interested in that. Her name is Faye, F-A-E, short for fairy. You know, the old English spelling of fairy, F-A-E-R-I-E, because she looked like a little fairy to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to call her Faye. But so anyhow, the officer, like I said, she was super cool. She actually asked me if I wanted to hold her, which I'm like, oh my God. So I picked her up, I held her, and as soon as I held her, she immediately just melted into my chest and into my heart.
Look, and now she doesn't leave your side. Look at that.
Yeah.
See, she's amazing. And then she just totally turned me around. She made me feel happy and like, okay, my 50th birthday is something special now. It was amazing.
So really, this should be Adopt a Gator Month.
It could be.
I think Faye adopted you. I mean, who rescued who?
Right.
Exactly.
She really did.
Oh,
She
yeah,
came
totally.
in and she saved you from, from the dark space that you were in.
Yeah, she got me out of the depression or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you call it. I was just down. I was in a funk. And she totally turned me around and made me feel so much better.
And because of Faye, you and your girlfriend Patty decided that you wanted to start your own rescue, and you have. This is no small task. That's incredibly daunting.
Yeah, well, actually, we've been adopting senior dogs for several years, and we were in the process of trying to get a rescue going, but the 501c3 through the IRS is just insane. It's a nightmare. We were trying to get help from lawyers. Even an ex-LA district attorney said, "Oh, I don't want to touch it. It's too much hassle." So we were getting really. That's another reason why I was kind of depressed too, because things weren't going well with getting the rescue going. And we're like, oh, we're not going to be able to help more dogs. But anyhow, Faye, once I got her, she gave me the gumption, whatever you want to call it, the drive, the motivation to do something. And she actually prompted me to call the IRS directly and ask for help, which you never hear of people calling the IRS and asking for help. You hear them calling them up and yelling at them for...
Exactly, or them calling you asking for money.
They say, how did you get her number? Is that what they said?
Yeah, exactly.
Put you through.
Basically. But the coolest thing was I called up and I spoke to this woman. She gave me all the facts, walked me through everything, told me what to do, how to go about it. And I was like, okay, this can't be real. This is too easy. So I called again for a second opinion. We got another woman. This woman was just like talking to mom or grandma. She's like, oh, honey, this is all you need to do. And I did what she said. And a month later, we had our 501c3 nonprofit status.
And now you're doing it. Okay, so people watching, a lot of times they think, oh, we're going to get that cute little puppy and they're going to be part of the family. What do you say to people who might say it's a little daunting, it might be challenging to adopt a senior? What do you want them to know about adopting a senior dog?
It makes you feel good. It makes you you've helped someone at the end of their life. I mean, someone, we don't know Faye's story because she was found living on the freeway. I don't know what her life was like before that, but like Patty Mae, for instance, her human person passed away. The family didn't want her. She was dumped in the shelter at 13 years of age.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
She was, left alone. So we got her out, and now she's living the rest of her life being spoiled rotten. So that it makes us feel good knowing that we're extending their lives, because the dark side of it is in the shelters they may not make it out.
Yeah.
So we love the fact that we can extend their lives, we can help them out, give them a little bit of a future.
How many dogs have you been able to help?
Personally adopting, Patty and I have adopted about 44 altogether over the years.
Oh my goodness.
This was the first one.
Actually, that was the first one we've gotten under the name Angels in Training.
Right.
That's OC. And we named her OC because we got her from the OC shelter,
I
Orange
like
County
it.
shelter, OC.
I like it.
But she was the first one under the Angels in Training name. And that's Hope.
Hope, who's
This
right,
is right here.
who's a little love bug. And, the one thing I did want to bring up that Gator said to me was, some of them you only have for a day. Some of them you have a few weeks, some of them you have for years. But just knowing that you have helped them for however long that is just such a fulfilling, amazing feeling.
And give them some love before
yeah.
they
They
pass
deserve it.
on.
Yeah.
But you know what one of the best parts is about adopting a senior dog? You don't have to go through the puppy phase.
Yeah.
I was going to say they're so calm, so gentle.
And you were worried about turning 50. There will always be someone older than you in the house.
Yeah.
I
the
mean,
dog years.
come on.
I know. Exactly.
You can't complain, Gator.
Thank you so very much. They're all so sweet.
Look at that.
Speaking of time and age, you know what time it is?
Oh, it's time for our mail.
It's time.
And it's my turn.
And it's your turn. Heading down the hall to the mailbox wall. And while Debbie's heading down to the mailbox wall, Larissa, you have a happy tale for us.
Yes, I do. Speaking of adopting a senior pet, we have a wonderful, beautiful dog named Betsy that we showcased a couple months ago, who was a 15-year-old who was taken in by a woman in Tucson, Arizona. And that was Betsy on the left when my friend Allison took her in. And then on the right, you can see she now has a play buddy, and she has a new home in Arizona, and they love her to bits, and they take her walking in a little stroller every day, and she is just loving life at the age of 15, full of love.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Good stuff. Thank you so much. Just love to have a happy tale.
I know.
2 of them now, or a wagon. What's happening down there at the mailbox wall there?
From happy tales to happy mails. Let's see who our mail's from today. What a cute card. This is from Amber Alpine Ide from Torrance, California. She says, I printed the fall cookbook. Oh, I love that. That's great, Amber. I'm going to start cooking. Thank you so much, Home and Family, for this beautiful cookbook. I just love it. So she printed it out and she put it in a 3-ring binder. That's amazing. We're so happy to hear that. Thank you, Amber. And if you would like to send us a card for our mailbox wall, you can mail everything to the address below on your screen, or you can just send us a note on our Facebook page, because we love hearing from you no matter what it is, suggestions, DIYs. Anything, please send us your suggestions and your cards. And speaking of cookbooks, Amber, we are putting all of our favorite holiday recipes in our Christmas cookbook, including one for the perfect mashed potatoes, which we're making a little bit later.
Wonderful.
Look at that.
Ooh, that looks delicious. And speaking of mail, Debbie, Lawrence is here, and Lawrence, you've got mail fashion fixes.
That is right. Never fear, because LZ is here, and today I'm fixing our viewers' fashion dilemmas for their fellas.
Right, and then we are hitting warp speed with sci-fi actor Jay Lee from the Orville. But next, Orly is getting ready to nail her DIY. Orly?
That's right. Coming up next, I'm showing you guys how an old cutting board can be the most beautiful holiday decoration. Come on back.